That's what I asked them, and they said...
What? What are you doing? What is that? I love it.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Good evening, everybody. This is Brian Smith with Smith Radio, along with
Carrie Smith.
Finally back in the hot seat.
Back in the hot seat after a long hiatus.
Yes, and we are doing a special edition for Easter Sunday. So we are talking to you live on April 4th, the night before the eve of Easter. Easter Eve.
The day when Jesus resurrected from the grave.
So technically, as we're talking to you right now, this would be the time that Jesus was coming back out of the tomb, searching for everybody. So I'm telling you right now, folks, we have a loaded show tonight. It's going to be short, it's going to be sweet, and it's going to be hard-hitting. We're going to hit up on the ISIS terror situation, Iran ordeal, Hillary ordeal, maybe get to New York, probably not. I'd like to tell you about the 747s that the Air Force is going to buy for 3 aircraft for the president. It's going to cost billions of dollars, but we probably won't get to that.
But now you know.
But
are you surprised, though? I mean, nothing. If you've been listening to the show long enough.
You can't be shocked about anything. However, what we are going to start off with is how I'm feeling quite gay tonight.
Wow. You're feeling gay, really? Should I go ahead and leave now? Because I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable.
About me being gay?
Well, I mean, we're both in this room alone, and we're both of the same sex.
What? No, gay, I'm happy, bro.
What do you mean happy? What do you mean?
I'm gay, I'm happy.
Whoa. If you're gay, you can keep that to yourself.
The definition of gay is happy.
Yeah, but that's just one definition.
No. It is the original definition. And if somebody ever called you, hey, buddy, you're looking a little queer there, they may think that you look like you're guilty of stealing something, or something's going on with you, or maybe you're a little bit high.
Yeah, back in the day.
And you're not right in your mind. You're a little queer.
Yeah, I remember when queer didn't exactly, it wasn't automatically associated with being completely homosexual.
No, but this community has hijacked 3 terms, 3 words. Well,
way more than 3.
But 2 words and an image that I am completely appalled with, and am currently on a jihad.
Oh, okay.
To take back.
Okay.
1 is gay, 2 is queer, and 3 is the rainbow.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a young daughter, and she doesn't know anything about the gay culture.
Why not? Why haven't you told her?
Well, it's never need to come up. I mean, she doesn't. She's to that age where there's a whole bunch of adult subjects that she knows nothing about yet. Now, I know there's a lot of liberals out there that would hear that and say, "Oh, that's child abuse,"
because you're not informing her of how to treat. Look, she may be of us, and you're not even preparing her.
Whatever. So
raising a rainbow.
Right. So one thing she likes to do, she likes to draw and paint and stuff like that, just for fun. And one thing she likes to draw in particular is rainbows.
Okay.
And, she likes the pattern of the colors, and she'll yell at me if I try to draw a rainbow where the colors aren't in the correct order.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it's supposed to go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. If I try to switch a couple of those, she'll have a coronary.
Oh, wow.
And so she likes to paint that. And, it's weird nowadays knowing that somebody who may either be gay or is active in politics or that kind of stuff would look at that and read into that.
Right.
Into it and make it mean something that it doesn't. To my daughter, it's just a neat pattern she likes. She likes the sequence of colors, if you will. It has nothing to do with what either A, her sexuality may be, or being aligned with the gay community and what kind of what they're pushing for their agenda or whatever.
Because you know what they're pushing. And this is the segue to, I guess, our main story tonight, which is the title of the show. This ordeal, this ballot, it's a amendment.
Debacle. Oh yeah, it's a debacle. Yeah, so the debacle.
The state of Indiana has decided to pass a law. Well, it's not really a law, but it is a law. But it's
already existing.
It's already on the books. But they're like highlighting that you, as a business owner, legally have the right to refuse service to anyone, which is already there.
Yeah, so basically what the liberal media decided to do, and this is mainstream media, this is what you and I would watch if we didn't have cable or if we were going to watch the most popular news channels on cable, we would end up with these programs that would depict Indiana and what happened with this law in a certain light. And what you don't know, unless you've been listening to kind of the offbeat, maybe conservative-leaning news, is that they're completely lying to you about everything. They've created this narrative. They've created it. They want you to believe that they're just reporting the craziness that's going on in Indiana. The only reason there's any craziness is because the liberals / gay / all of the above, all that left stuff, has descended upon Indiana to create the narrative for you to consume.
So,
and digested all of the information for you and told you what to think.
Right. So CBS, Cleveland / AP. I don't know if that's a conjunction of liberal media.
Oh yeah, if it's AP
colluding.
Oh yeah, it's
absolutely. CBS, Cleveland, AP.
That's about as liberal as it comes.
Okay,
that's the trifecta.
And they're reporting in Indiana. So.
Right, so it's like, why are you in? You're in Cleveland, and you're in Indiana.
So let me quote the first paragraph of this article that has now gripped America,
or at least it's gripped. If you get your entertainment from the media, then they will make you gripped on Indiana because that's what they decided you are going to be gripped on.
Right. So here's the article. An Indiana woman whose family owns a small-town pizzeria says the state's new religious objections law supports the restaurant's right to deny service to any same-sex couples who might ask them to cater to their wedding. Crystal O'Connor of Memories Pizza,
okay,
says her family would serve a gay couple or a non-Christian couple at its restaurant in Walkerton, which is about 20 miles southwest of South Bend in northern Indiana. But O'Connor tells WBND-TV that the restaurant would say no if a gay couple asked to provide pizzas for their wedding. Quote, if a gay couple came in and wanted us to provide pizzas for their wedding, we would have to say no. Okay. That statement alone, did the media troll her?
Yes. Well, according to Rush Limbaugh.
Dude, she didn't come out to the world and say, we will never serve a gay wedding.
Right, so right off the bat, the media is absolutely lying to you by creating this story, this fake lie story, that this person of Memory, the owner of Memories Pizza, will not serve. And let me tell you how the media works. Okay, there is a show called Funny or Die, and
right.
and they came out with a parody, a little skit, if you will, parodying what the narrative that you're supposed to get about Memories Pizza and all the other Christian companies in Indiana. And basically what they did was, in this parody, they were doing a home shopping network style show where they were selling decorative plates. And in this decorative plates sale from this home shopping network in Indiana,
right,
you can purchase these plates as long as you're straight. And so there is the lie. So here's the narrative. The narrative is that this woman who owns Memories Pizzeria would not sell anybody a pizza unless they're straight.
Okay, so now...
But that's a lie, because the truth is she just wouldn't agree to go participate. Look, when you cater a wedding, you are a participant in the wedding.
When was the last time you went to a wedding that there was pizza catered?
Right. Yeah. All right, so let's, right off the bat...
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further.
We're catering a...
Right. Fox News is breaking news. Kevin O'Connor and his daughter, Crystal, who own Memories Pizza in Washington, Indiana, are now in hiding.
Oh, I heard that they were threatened.
They said
they had their life threatened.
Yes. They said that they are currently in hiding and don't know. His family have been forced into hiding and had to temporarily shut down their store after they told a local television reporter they would not cater a gay wedding. Folks, you are shutting down small business Anytown, USA.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. We're talking about the left here. You know,
their war on Christianity.
If you're a low information voter, you might not realize that the gay community, the race baiting community, the ones that are trying to instill racism in politics and pulling race cards all the time, and communists, they're all together. They're all rowing the same boat in the same direction.
Right.
And so I lost my place a little bit there, but
it's okay.
But so when they're trying to go after these Christians and all that, it's all for the same thing. They're all trying to institute communism, left ideology.
There is a war on Christianity like none other. It is absolutely a fact that the mainstream media, the drive-by media, has issued a fatwa on Christianity and the Christian religion. If you walk down the street claiming to be a follower of Christ, you could be subjected to, and there's no question about it, that you would be subjected to
rectal feeding.
Yes, there we go. Do that twice and you are now a full-fledged member of a community that you don't want to be a part of. So, no, seriously.
Okay, but
I know I'm joking, but seriously, this is an assault, a full frontal assault on Christianity.
Well, they would have you believe, and we're about to prove it to you right now. Oh, yeah, we got a little ahead of ourselves. They would have you believe that they are just a group of people that happen to be homosexual. They like the same sex. They want to be accepted. They feel ostracized. They feel alienated. They want to be accepted. They want to be able to say, look, we're married. We want the government to issue us a piece of paper saying that we are married. We want the word marriage, married, to be on the certificate. involving two men or two women.
So they want to hijack another word and change the definition of it.
Right, they hijack the word marriage, which is so...
They're attempting.
Right.
Full assault attempting.
But here's the thing. They want you to believe that they are just out for acceptance. We just want to be accepted, and we tried to get pizza at our wedding. We wanted to have a wedding where every table had a giant pizza on it. What kind
of hill jack wedding would that be?
Did you hear this one? If somebody said, "Oh, I'm sorry that I don't have the actual quote and the person that I can't cite the proper person who said this because they deserve credit." They said, if you want a pizzeria to cater your wedding, you might want to double check to make sure you're gay. Because you may,
dude. I don't know a gay. I know many gay people from LA. Yeah. That is the last thing.
It would be a huge insult. I'm not trying to stereotype any gay people out there, but if you're gay, I would be willing to put money that you're not going to have a pizzeria cater your wedding.
No.
Oh man, so that's what they would want you to believe. They want you to believe that this poor that these poor innocent gay people are being alienated, ostracized by these big old bad business owners who would not serve them. But here's where things get interesting.
I thought about this. It crossed my mind, and when I saw this article pop up today, I was beside myself. But go ahead, go with it. Go with it.
So what is this? The IJ review? What is this? Kyle Becker decides to don a hidden camera and go door to door. And I don't know how he found these places. He must have had to search high and low. Apparently, there are several bakeries in Indiana throughout the state that are owned by Muslims. Okay? And they bake cakes.
Right.
And as a bakery that bakes cakes, wouldn't you think that there are some people that go in there and ask for a wedding cake? Yeah, probably.
Possibly.
So, donning a hidden camera, he goes into these bakeries owned by Muslims and asks them if they would be willing to cater a wedding of a same-sex couple.
And what do you think they said?
Well, they all 100% said, no, we would not cater a gay wedding because we're Muslim and that would be against our religion. And we're going to stick by our religion and not subject ourselves to that activity.
Right.
It's not like they're selling a cake to a gay couple out of their store and they're Muslim and they're like, oh, you're gay, we're not going to serve you. That's not what it is. They're asking these Muslims and Christians last week if they would participate in the wedding by catering it.
Right. So, softball swimming coach of a local school tweeted, "Who's going with me to Walkerton, Indiana to burn down #Memories Pizza?"
Uh-oh. So we have an actual name.
Jessica Dooley asked in a now deleted tweet.
Of course
according to National Review Online.
If there's justice in the world, she will be, I don't know, she got to be charged with something.
Quote, agree with #freedom of religious bill, ? That's a lifestyle they choose. Ignorant. Burn down Memories Pizza. She has been, was she fired? Or she was suspended with pay.
From where? What does she do?
From the as a high school coach.
She works in a high school.
Yep.
And she's telling young, impressionable people.
And I'm just looking at a picture of her, and I'm going to be honest with you, folks. She looks like a man.
No. She looks like a 13-year-old boy. A catcher, if you will.
and her face is a 1919 catcher's mitt.
She's a catcher she puts both arms behind her back. Oh,
she catches the ball with her teeth.
She looks like a 13-year-old boy,
but 200 pounds.
Well, no, I mean,
dude, she's hefty.
Oh yeah, I mean, she looks like the catcher on The Sandlot.
Yes, that's exactly who she looks like.
Instead of red hair and freckles, she's just brown hair. Yep. Or dark brown hair, almost black.
And why do I put out what she looks like? Because she's clearly gay and clearly hating on straight people.
That's bigotry.
You know, I've told this story before, and I'm not going to go into the full details, but I witnessed firsthand in a gay bar in L.A. the hate and the anger towards me for being straight.
Yeah,
in a gay bar.
Yeah, you definitely get discriminated. If you think that there's any kind of discrimination going on towards the gay community by straights, you need to check the discrimination that you would feel in an environment where a straight person is the minority.
Right.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So we also have selective outrage about this. Top companies rip Indiana, reap profits in brutal nations. Big name companies blasting Indiana over laws say promotes discrimination based on sexual orientation. Check their social conscience at the border when it comes to doing business in nations where gay people face persecution, even death, orientation. Because what this is,
hypocrisy.
Apple, Gap, and Levi are blasting Indiana when, at the same time, Apple, Gap, and Levi, all of which, I'm quoting the article from Fox News, all of which do business in nations with abysmal human rights records.
So the hypocrisy you could cut with a knife.
It knows no bounds.
You could stick a spoon in that hypocrisy and it wouldn't even fall over.
Right.
Stick straight up.
So you've got projection here. They're feeling like they need to get in this fight to cover the fact that they do business in countries that suppress these people.
Well, that wouldn't be an example of projection, but they're definitely the hypocrisy is just ridiculous. I mean, why would you be so up in arms about what Indiana does? And by the way, I don't really think there's anything wrong with the law, and neither did Bill Clinton when he signed it into law.
Or Obama. Obama was a part of
people.
Yeah. There's, do I have I had a sound clip, but I'm not sure if I can find it. But no, there's a lot of things that are going on with different laws and different rules. Texas, that's what it was. Texas governor had to pass a law that restated a current law and asked to respect the Constitution of America.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
Our whole government is broken beyond repair. When you have to re-sign in a law that already exists just for emphasis.
Right.
Like, no, we really mean this, so we're going to pass another one with the same words.
Right.
Because we really want you to enforce this. Either it's not being enforced, or there's nobody being convicted of violating these crimes.
So there's a claim that Christians in America are coming down on gays and homosexuals. People who, you know what? I don't even call them gays anymore because I am gay. I'm currently gay right now.
Just homosexual.
I'm happy as all get out. They are homosexual and they choose a lifestyle that I don't choose. That's fine. Some people smoke. I don't.
I think the jury's still out because I've quizzed, interviewed gay people before, and it seems to me that they have convinced me They've convinced me that they were gay from birth.
And that's fine.
Now, what that means
fine.
is
that's
that
fine.
means something now.
I can't argue with that. However, I have found other people in other situations. So my general...
Oh, no, I agree with you on that.
I'm
not disagreeing with you that.
Right. My general consensus is I don't know where the gayness comes from. Sorry. I don't know where the desire for homosexuality comes from. But the fact that they desire that and the fact that they get that, whether it comes from birth or it comes later on in life, I don't care and I don't know. That's their personal issue.
And it could change. It could be different from person to person.
Right. But they've got this thing that goes against nature.
Oh, of course.
In itself.
If everybody was gay, the human race would die off in one generation.
If animals were gay.
Not gay. Homosexual.
If animals chose a male-on-male relationship, there would be
the species would die.
Plants.
Yeah.
There are plants, male and female plants.
Well, there's also the asexual. They don't even need. Yeah,
that's true. Avocado tree.
But animals.
You need a specific avocado tree.
Well,
and
apples
are like
that.
Apples are like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Male, female, what opposite to cross-pollination. You need those things to reproduce and recreate. However that goes, that's fine. I want to let you all know that it's less than 2% of the population of America that claims this status of homosexuality, tried it, attempted it, did it, thought about it. All of that is less than 2% of the population. So we're allowing the minority to somehow rule the majority?
Well, Hannity said this week that he is 100% sure. He didn't really give proof that this whole outrage towards the pizzeria, the masses that descended, it was just 10 people.
10 people descended upon it?
10 people got onto Twitter and went nuts. And 10 people.
Well, and then you got the news media picking it up.
Right, and so what they did is it's hard to explain, but it's like a viral video. You know, a couple people pick it up and say, "Hey, this is awesome. You know, let's do this." But it starts with a core group of people, and it went to Twitter, and they talked their friends into retweeting things, and then they retweeted, and it just blew up from there.
So now, what was our conclusion to this entire fake firestorm?
Well,
fireball,
based on the fact that the news media has made a conscious effort to completely ignore the fact that Muslims who own bakeries are exactly, if not more, strict on not...
And if you walked into a Muslim bakery, you said, "I'm gay, and I want you to cater my gay wedding." I'm sorry. I'm a homosexual, and I want you to cater my homosexual wedding with my man.
Yeah, they say no.
You would be lucky if you left with your head attached to your body.
Oh, well, if you did this in another country, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't be persecuted. You would be removed from your body. Head.
You would be liquidated. You would be liquidated.
Yes.
So, yeah, and we're laughing about it, but that's the God's honest truth.
The fact.
Yes. So anyway, based on that, it's clear to me that two things. Number one, we don't have a journalism in America the way everybody believes that it is. We don't have a government the way we believe
it should be, or the founding fathers believed it should have been.
Right. It's supposed to be people out there. This is what the founders believed. They believed that people would be out there with newspapers. Anybody could do it. Freedom of press, freedom of speech. You go out there and you press whatever you want with your press and send it out there, and you would report the facts. And here's what they thought. They thought if anybody lied about what was going on, that they would lose credibility, lose viewership, and they would phase out themselves. That's what they believed. it's a shame, but they're wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what they do is so liberals decided, well, you know what? We can shape what people think by telling them what we want them to know.
And they started doing this over 120 years ago.
Yeah, and so they would tell you what you're supposed to think. And if we can get enough, like a network, that's what a network is. It's a large, huge group of different news outlets, whether it's through print or radio. It could involve Hollywood, because you're learning something when you watch a Hollywood skit, like the funny or die skits.
Right.
That's all a part of it. They're all feeding in. They're verifying what the news is saying, right? And they're just telling you what they want to hear. And so that brings me to the second conclusion. The second conclusion is that this has nothing to do with homosexuality, acceptance of homosexuality in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you know what it has to do with?
Rectal feeding.
That and... Oh, you want a cake? You want a cake? You want a cake? Oh, wow.
Have some of this!
Oh, man. So, no.
Wow!
So, we have no journalism because we have narrative feeders, teachers, re-education camps,
right,
if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Of people telling you that we need to wage war on Christianity. It has nothing to do with homosexuality. Because if it had something to do with acceptance of homosexuality, they would have the same firestorm of the Muslim bakeries.
You will never, ever hear of anybody attacking a Muslim bakery in America
based on their intolerance of homosexuality.
Or their intolerance of Christianity. Say, hey, I'm a Christian and I want you to cater to my Christian wedding.
And they say no because I'm Muslim. They would be like, oh, that sounds awesome.
That's race. That's something.
That's what, no, the journalists would say, right on, man. And they would fist bump them.
Right, of course. But in our point of view, it's the hypocrisy of all of it all.
Well, it's hypocrisy if you buy into the notion that this is about acceptance of homosexuality. But we're not buying into that.
No.
So it's not hypocrisy. It's just simply what it is, which is a knockdown, drag-out war on Christianity and only Christianity, and that's what it is. So it all makes sense when you look at it in that context. Because if you don't, if you're like, hey, what's going on here? We're talking about acceptance. What they would have you believe is, yeah, we want Christians to accept homosexuality. And we have Muslims over here that are not, but we're going to put them off. We're going to put them on the back burner. We'll put the Muslims on the back burner. We'll get to them. As soon as we get the Christians to accept homosexuals, we will go over to the Muslims and we'll work on them next. BS.
Right.
That's not what they're doing. It has nothing to do with accepting homosexuality. It has to do with a war on Christianity, and we've proven that. Flat out. It's proven. And it all makes sense when you look at it in those contexts. All right, so that's what's going on in Indiana. It's just a war on Christianity, and don't think it's going to be limited to just Indiana.
This war on Christianity continues in Irving, Texas.
Oh, boy, what happened in Texas?
Well, I've got a soundbite I'm going to play for you. This is a news clip, and I'm playing the news guys talking to each other and playing the sound clip of the local Congress.
Gotta find it
1A,
somewhere in our
1A.
paper.
Come on, 1A. Irving, Texas passes a law to uphold the law. Muslims upset they can't use Sharia law.
How is this not so obvious?
They say Sharia law is above the law.
Well, right. If you're a Muslim and you're a serious practicing Muslim, it's all about Sharia law.
Okay, and I just want to inform everybody, I'm not saying that I'm ignorant on Sharia law, but I don't follow Sharia law. I'm not a follower of the law of Sharia. So I did a little bit of homework, and I came up with the best of top 10 Sharia laws.
Okay.
And the consequences to the violation of that law.
And after you're done, I'm going to tell everybody why it's completely irrelevant. But go ahead. It's important to know how bad Sharia law is, but how bad it is irrelevant.
Okay, I'll play the sound clip first.
Okay.
We'll listen to the politicians, the vote that went through. You'll be there at the very second, and how fast they approved this measure, which is ridiculous because they shouldn't even need to. And then we'll follow that up with what Sharia law really is.
Anger tonight from Muslims in Irving. This after the city just approved a resolution that they say is aimed at persecuting their religion. Jeff Paul on the story, joining us live tonight, where Irving's mayor is defending this vote that went down. Jeff?
Well, Doug, tempers flared here inside City Hall in Irving as council members voted and approved on this resolution right here in support of a House bill that forbids any use of any foreign law. Now, it was a more symbolic vote, but many Muslims who were inside tonight say they feel like they're being targeted and that it further solidifies Islamophobia.
Okay, hold on. At first, I was upset that this reporter said Islamophobia, but now that I listened to it again, he said that the Muslims there said that this further solidifies Islamophobia.
He's just reporting what they said.
Right. However, they're saying that this vote really is inconsequential, but the Muslims are upset about because nothing this vote goes through. Absolutely nothing changes. It just it's a reaffirmation vote for the laws in place. And they're saying this vote, I know it sounds so convoluted, folks. This vote is saying that the laws on the books are the laws on the books.
Talk about redundancy.
Okay, all right, we'll get back to it. Here we go.
Please vote.
In 5 seconds, the Irving City Council physically will change nothing.
And that motion passes 5-4.
But mentally, for the dozens of Muslims who packed inside City Hall, they say it crushes them.
I think it is the most disgraceful day as a citizen in Irving.
What Omar Solomon is talking about is the approved city resolution that supports House Bill 562. The proposed legislation codifies that U.S. and state laws supersede foreign laws.
Okay, hold on.
How is that not self-evident?
This law states that federal law and local law supersedes foreign law.
First of all, why are they calling it foreign law? It's not foreign, it's part of the Quran. There is no foreign country.
No. They're saying it's a foreign law, meaning
it's not part of America.
Correct.
Okay, all right, okay. I was confused. I'm like, what country are they talking about?
Well, it's a law outside, and this is something
like a foreign object
that I started to slip into down this rabbit hole. There are many small towns that are electing judges that agree with Sharia law.
Well, that's fine.
No, that is not fine. A judge of the United States of America in a town, a county, a city in America cannot say, I agree with Sharia law.
Yeah, but the thing is he still has to interpret the existing laws. And he has to. It doesn't matter if he agrees with the laws or not.
No. He's willing and allowing for people to bring. The article I read said the reason why they elected these judges in these towns is because they agree with Sharia law for property rights and marital rights in the Muslim community.
If you're telling me that they are going to not interpret the law correctly, that they're going to do it incorrectly.
No, they're going to do it correctly according to Sharia law.
No, but they're breaking the law then.
Correct.
Because everybody knows that American laws supersede that.
And because that's happening, this went down.
All right. Well, here's my take. If a judge goes and swears on their Quran or whatever in front of their God that they're going to uphold the U.S. Constitution,
that's different.
Well, they have to do that.
Well, if they're claiming to uphold the U.S. Constitution, but they don't,
yeah, that's
a problem.
And they should be impeached. You can impeach a judge.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's impeachable, and you got to impeach him. It has to be done. You have to do it.
Right.
And if you don't do it, then you get what you deserve.
Right.
Flat out. And but anyway.
Okay. Let me finish the rest of the clip.
Okay.
There we go.
But it's the anti-Sharia bill.
Many Muslims believe it's in reaction to a new Islamic tribunal that was just created in Irving earlier this year. The Muslim judges told us in February it was religious mediation for civil disputes like marriage and not binding.
This bill does not mention at all Muslim, Sharia law, Islam, even religion.
The mayor telling the crowd it's important to recognize the Constitution and unite behind U.S. and Texas laws.
Respect them, obey them, embrace them.
Muslims like Solomon say it's that rhetoric that furthers the stigma they say endangers them.
All we can do is we can take it to the ballot box. I mean, we will vote.
Now, state lawmakers in support of this House bill say it should get a reading later this month at a state judicial meeting, but it still has a long road before it sees any votes or is passed into law. Reporting live tonight here in Irving, I'm Jeff Paul, CBS 11 News.
That is insane.
Anger tonight from Muslims in...
Hold on. That is insane that they're saying that it may never see the light of day.
Well, the law's are already on the books.
No, but they're saying this new law that reaffirms the law. What are we talking about here, folks?
It's real simple. If a big group of Muslims want to come in and take over a big chunk of land and make it into a city,
right,
and have a government in which all the legislature are all a bunch of Sharia law loving Muslims, and they write all the laws, have them passed by a Muslim mayor, and get enforced by Muslim cops, and Muslim judges are sitting on the bench.
Right.
These are all now American laws because they did it legally the American way.
Right.
But it's following Sharia because they made the law to follow the Quran. But it would be legal because in that city, it would no longer be foreign law. It would be the law of that city. That's fine. I don't think anybody would want to live there, but...
Well, when you force your women to live there, they'll live there.
But hold on a second. None of those laws can violate federal law.
Well, which upholds the Constitution, which means that those laws are in violation, clear violation.
Some of them are. Some of the Sharia law they wouldn't be able to put in. Let's hear what some of them are.
Let's go to Sharia. Sharia.
Oh, the ACLU would have a field day on that city,
Sharia,
by the way.
how are you? Okay, so I pulled up Sharia law, and the first image I saw is a severed hand, and it's really creepy, and I realized it is a real hand severed.
It's not like a gag. It's not like something you buy at Capitals.
Well, because you can see the tendons and the bone. It's just unbelievable. Okay. Sharia law is the law of Islam. The Sharia law is cast from the actions and words of Muhammad, which are called Sunnah, and the Quran, which he authored. Muhammad wrote the Quran. The Sharia law itself can not be altered, but the interpretation of Sharia law, called fiqh, by imams is also given some leeway. So like if you recall the priest of the Catholic Church today, the priest, if you will, of Islam are called imams. These imams can interpret Sharia law.
Well, the imams would probably be more like a cardinal or something in like the Catholic religion.
Oh, the really
high ups.
Yeah, they are. Imams are extremely high up. Yeah, you're right. And when they come out and say something, they are the Muslims all go to the east and throw down rugs on the ground.
Okay.
Anyways, wow.
You lost me on that one.
So the Sharia law itself cannot be altered, but the interpretation of the Sharia law, called fiqh, by imams is given some leeway. As a legal system, the Sharia law covers a very wide range of topics. While other legal codes deal primarily with public behavior, Sharia law covers public behavior, private beliefs. Of all legal systems in the world known to human beings today, Islam's Sharia law is the most intrusive and strict, especially against women. So, what kind of laws does Sharia have? Theft is punishable by amputation of the right hand.
Oh, so you could still steal with the left hand.
Correct.
Okay.
And it doesn't say they'll cut the left hand off. So
Ever?
Well, it doesn't say it.
So you could be a multiple offender.
With the left hand.
Yeah, right.
Criticizing or denying any part of the Quran is punishable by death.
That would definitely be unconstitutional.
Yeah, probably. Criticizing or denying Muhammad as a prophet is punishable by death.
Violation of the First Amendment.
Criticizing or denying Allah, the moon god of Islam, is punishable by death.
Violation of First Amendment.
A Muslim
stricken down.
who becomes a non-Muslim. So if you're Muslim and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, punishable by death.
Violation of the First Amendment.
A non-Muslim, so me being a Christian, who talks to a Muslim and leads him away from Islam, we are both to die.
All these violation of First Amendment.
A non-Muslim man who marries a Muslim woman is punishable by death. A man can marry an infant girl and consummate the marriage only when she is the ripe age of 9 years old.
Well, early bloomers, I guess. I don't know.
Girls' clitoris must be cut off. This is per Muhammad's words in Book 41, Kiba al-Abba 52-51. Okay. A woman can have one husband, but a man can have 4 wives. A man can unilaterally divorce his wife, but a woman needs her husband's consent for divorce.
That actually, they probably would be able to write into law in a city.
That's very...
I mean, it's not really... technically not really violating any federal laws, probably.
Well, it might be violating her right to... Maybe. No, you're right. A man can beat his wife for insubordination.
There's assault charges you could bring up. I mean, what if they don't have assault?
Dude, look at you. You're like saying that's all right.
No, I'm trying to figure.
And I'm not mad about that law.
I'm not saying that. I'm not condoning.
Smith Radio does not condone
right.
actions or comments of its commentators.
I'm trying to find the loophole in any federal or state laws that would prevent these laws from being put into effect.
You can't physically assault anybody without repercussions.
So that would be, right.
Testimonies of 4 male witnesses are required to prove rape against a woman.
That might be allowed.
A woman...
I'm not saying it should. It's ridiculous.
A woman who has been raped cannot testify in court against her rapist.
Now that, I don't know how that would fly. I mean, how's that... What do you mean? It's like a violation of your First Amendment. You can testify whatever you want.
Correct. A woman's testimony in court allowed only in property cases, but carries half the weight of a man's testimony.
There is a whole... They've got to be outraged by the First Amendment. Muslims, I mean.
They are outraged.
When they hear about the freedom of speech, they probably think, well, they don't really mean that. They can't.
No, it's not possible.
If you've grown up, especially not in America, especially, under Sharia law, you can't believe that this could be possible.
Right.
You got to believe it's impossible.
A female heir inherits half of her brother's heir.
Wait, what?
If a man has a daughter and a son,
okay,
and when he dies, he wills 100% of his stuff to his two children.
Mm-hmm.
The son will receive 75%, and the daughter 25%.
Well, that would be 3 times. You mean double? It'd be 66 and 33.
Right. She receives
half of what he gets.
So
he gets 2/3 of it, and she gets 1/3.
Correct. 66 to 33. Right.
Well, that's a good deal for the guys.
Right. A woman cannot drive a car, as it leads to upheaval.
Wait a minute. I'm calling BS. Wait.
How does Muhammad know about cars?
Exactly. What? Muhammad wrote this?
No. This was the interpretation of the Imam.
Oh, that's right. So he read somewhere in the Quran and interpreted can't drive a car because of why?
A woman can upheaval.
Upheaval.
There's the word called fitna, which means in English upheaval.
Okay. So she could cause upheaval.
Upheaval
by driving.
Yes.
Okay.
A woman cannot speak alone to a man who is not her husband or a relative.
That sounds like a violation of the First Amendment again.
If your wife went to the grocery store and the cashier was a man,
she couldn't speak to him.
No. No.
She would have to go into the line with the woman.
Right, and if they switched it up at the last minute, I need a new cashier, and it was a male,
she'd be freaked out. And you wouldn't be able to tell because she'd be wearing that burqa thing over her face.
With the fly screen cover.
Well, you don't want flies in there.
No. Meat to be eaten must come from animals that have been sacrificed to Allah.
That would be an interesting regulation.
Well,
it's like an EPA or not EPA, FDA. That's an FDA regulation they put in.
The Jewish community does that.
Oh, there you go.
Kosher.
The kosher. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got no problem with that. Muslims should engage in and
what?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And lie to non-Muslims to advance Islam.
Well, is that a law?
Yeah, there's a
They're
thing.
Required.
There's a thing that says that you should engage in TAQIYYA, however you pronounce it, which means to push the Muslim agenda. You will do it at all costs.
Oh, that's like evangelizing.
Right.
Or going on a mission if you're a Muslim.
Right.
I mean, not Muslim, a Mormon.
Mormon.
Yeah, Mormons go on missions, and then there's evangelicals, which evangelize the Christian faith.
And as I say here on Smith Radio, by hook or by crook, I will win.
All right.
So that is the Sharia law. Which countries use Sharia law? Well, if you didn't know, the United States of America is being phased into Sharia law. We're attempting to.
Well, except for all the freedom of speech stuff, which they're going to probably eventually repeal the First Amendment. They have to in order to get the stuff done they need to get done.
Sharia law in the United States of America has reached a spread of Islam at phase 3.
What? You lost me on that one.
They're at phase 3 right now.
How many phases total?
I don't know.
There's like 39 phases. We're on 3 now.
We're on phase 3, and they got to get to 0.
What? They started at 39. They're counting down. When they get to 1, we're there.
As the number of court cases that involve conflicts between civil law and Sharia law rise in America, the majority of American states have introduced bills banning courts from accommodating Sharia law.
Well,
so if you understand what I just said, court systems are being overrun in a sense. I mean, when I say
overrun or overran? I don't know.
Overran Paul.
Oh, Rand Paul. Okay.
Court systems are having to deal with Muslims showing up like their wife is using American law to say this guy is abusing me physically, sexually,
and he's
emotionally.
Saying,
he's like, bruh,
it's my religion.
It's my religion. It's my Sharia law.
I gotta beat her. It's my religion. What are you gonna do?
Come on, gotta keep a woman in line. Why do I sound like I'm?
Your accent is really good, by the way.
For what culture? What?
I thought you were doing a Muslim.
Oh, that was Muslim. I will tell you, it is my right and my duty to beat my wife into submission.
Indian? Is he from India?
And to get her to submit.
Kill her and submit?
Kill her by submission.
Well, why did you chop her hands off?
She touched me wrong way.
Oh, she tried to steal you. And in some cultures,
and my male friend did not like this.
Oh, what?
What? Oh, he's now violating his own laws.
Yeah. So it's completely irrelevant if the law of Sharia breaks an existing law. Like they pretty much affirm this. American, state, and federal laws take precedence. So you can't just assault somebody because it's your religion to do so.
Right.
Well, it's as simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Some of these bills have been stalled because of well-financed Muslim groups also campaign against politicians who sponsor or support these bills. Oklahoma's law banning Sharia law from the courts has been struck down, and only 7 other conservative states, Louisiana, Arizona, North Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Kansas, Alabama, have been able to pass Sharia law limiting legislation, and only after watering them to not even mention the word Sharia.
Well, that's fine. I really don't have a problem with any of that, as long as they have the discipline and righteousness to make sure that they never allow anything in the Sharia law to take precedent over an existing American law. And I don't care if it's federal, state, county, local city, municipal, whatever it is, if it's an American law that was passed legally in the community through a representative or just a democratic vote.
No, because Sharia law is in clear violation of the Constitution of the United States.
Right. So when that comes up,
it needs to be shot down immediately.
Well, you need to just say, well, that's fine that you beat her and you're following your religion and Sharia law. That's fine. But we're also going to charge you with assault and prosecute you
under our laws, because that is not. If you want to do that,
if that's your defense, that's fine. You can use that as a defense.
And if you want to continue to do that to her, you must move back to a country that allows that.
There you go.
Because in our country, we don't allow that.
Now, as far as actually using Sharia law as the law of the land, the whole thing becomes irrelevant because of the Second Amendment also prevents the establishment of a religion. And Sharia law is a religious law. And by implementing it as Sharia law, if you want to take bits and pieces of Sharia law and pass legislation legally and make it pass and everything's on the up and up and it doesn't violate federal constitution, state laws, whatever, I don't have a problem with that. But you can't just say, we're instituting Sharia law. That would be a violation of the freedom from religion.
Okay, how about this one? In 2009, Hudson County Superior Court Judge Joseph Charles Jr. ruled in South Dakota versus MJR that the Muslim ex-husband repeatedly had sexually assaulted his Muslim ex-wife both before and after their divorce, following testimony from the Muslim man's imam. However, the judge denied the ex-wife's request for a permanent restraining order against her ex-husband, citing the Muslim man's belief and practices. The court believes that the defendant was operating under his belief that it is, as the husband, his desire to have sex when and whenever he wanted to was something that was considered with his practices.
Well, that's just a bad decision there.
So follow me here. Because my religion says that I should and can, as a man, have sex anywhere, anytime, in any way, and anyhow, that because you don't want it, it don't make no never mind.
Well, I got a question for you.
This street terms. I'm breaking it down as simplicity.
Hold on. I got an example. There was. I wish I had it in front of me, but there was a rape case involving a married couple.
Right. But I know the one you're talking about. Go ahead.
I think they were Catholic, Christian, whatever. And his argument was, we're married. You can't rape somebody who married you because the act of marriage itself gives the consent.
I believe the court swayed for the woman because she said no.
Right.
And when she says no, it's against her own free will, married or not married. So I have free will.
I wish I had the results of the court battle in front of me. I wish I did.
Thank you, Mr. Producer. I'm getting on the teletype the ticker tape.
The ticker tape.
I got the ticker tape scrolling.
Can I get it telegraphed to me? Oh, Morse code
For
style.
For you kids who don't know, ... dash ... I'm calling out SOS right now. As he looks that up, I will proceed to another. In 1996, Bill Clinton became the first U.S. president to hold an Eid al-Fitr dinner at the White House to celebrate the end of Ramadan, the Muslim month-long dawn-to-dusk fast. Eid al-Fitr includes 6 takbir, the raising of hands and shouting Allahu Akbar to declare Allah, the moon god, is the greatest.
Well, according to Wikipedia, which is the standard for
well, because Wiki is bi. It will go both ways at times.
Okay, well, check this out. They have an entire page called Marital Rape, and in quotes, United States law. So apparently it's marital rape is illegal in all 50 states. So if you're married, or if the perpetrator's if the victim is the spouse, if she says no, yeah, it's no. But there was a pretty high-profile case. It was like where they were like, wait a minute. She consented to sex when she got married to me. That was the argument. It's definitely kind of interesting. I'll tell you what. I'm in the Catholic religion, and I will tell you right now, I think it's kind of an unspoken, unwritten... I mean, you're required to try to have children in the Catholic faith.
Yeah, absolutely. Check this out. Oh, my goodness. In 2009, a Christian soldier at Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan received Bibles in 2 local languages sent by his American church as planned. the U.S. military confiscated those Bibles, and instead of at least returning them to the church, they burned them.
What were they doing this for?
They confiscated because they were... it doesn't say why they did it. They just said they did it. By contrast, when Terry Jones, a pastor in Florida, announced his plan to burn a copy of the Quran, I remember this in 2010, General Davis Petraeus, the commander of the U.S. military in Afghanistan, publicly objected to this plan, while U.S. Secretary of State, at the time, Hillary Clinton, and this is no segue, but we will get to that one. Hillary Clinton denounced his plan as disgraceful. So the U.S. military can burn the Bible, but yet all high level will disgrace. Remember that time we flushed the Quran down our toilet?
We tried to, but even a champion toilet can't fit that.
Not only that, but do not attempt to do a soft serve.
What?
On the Quran in attempts to help it go down.
Oh, well.
It's like, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Have you seen the commercial of the champion toilet? They're putting golf balls and potting soil and all. Yeah, and flushing, and it won't clog.
Wow.
But
Dude, they need to do a Quran.
That would be interesting.
With a soft serve on top.
Oh,
dude, that would be a double whammy.
No, show the soft serve coming down into it, but then pan up,
right?
And then it's an actual ice cream machine.
But why would you want to give it away?
Well, because
the joke is on you for thinking.
Yeah, like what were you thinking? Like that wasn't what you thought it was. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Come on, it's ice cream, bruh.
Right. It'd have to be dark chocolate, though, because...
Yikes. No.
How do we get off on this tangent?
Oh, was that a tangent?
Oh, we're talking about soft serve in a champion toilet.
Muslim taxi drivers are challenging local authorities for the right to refuse to pick up...
What?
Wait for it.
Well, you're obviously having trouble.
Blind passengers.
Wait, what?
With seeing eye dogs.
So, wait a minute. So, can you repeat this? So, taxi drivers...
Muslim taxi drivers are challenging local authorities for the right to refuse blind passengers that have seeing eye dogs.
And this is because of why?
While Muslim supermarket cashiers are challenging their employees for the right to refuse to sell products from pigs.
Oh, well, wait a minute. What about dog? What's wrong with a dog?
So they're refusing to pick up blind people with dogs because dogs are filth.
They don't like dogs.
Oh, hell no!
I did not know this.
Oh no, they would literally love to wipe out all of Korea because Korea eats dogs.
Interesting.
And they hate America because we have dogs as pets.
They just don't do that?
Oh no, dude.
I did not know that at all.
No, it's like it's like giving somebody the middle finger in America.
What, having a dog?
Yes.
So if you call him a dog,
you might get beheaded.
Okay.
He may come after you with a sword.
So how is this related to pigs then?
Okay.
There's a pork products or whatever.
So local, and this was breaking news this week. Local stores, and I will name the store, Target, for those of you who live in
France.
France. But those in America, it's called Target.
Okay.
Cashiers who are Muslim cashiers refuse to touch pork product to scan it to charge them.
So what do?
They've been asking the customers to scan it themselves so that they don't have to touch it.
How awkward. And by the way, under Sharia law, if it's a female checkout person, how is she talking to any men? Does she have to call somebody over and talk to...
Yeah. You know how you get the 21-year-old kid comes over to scan the beer because the 19-year-old girl
couldn't do it.
She's not allowed to touch it.
That's what happens with the Muslim women. And every time a guy comes.
Right. Like, a guy shows up, she has to step back, and he has to ring up the whole order.
Well, no, she could ring it up. She's just not allowed to talk to him.
So he stands behind her, hovering over her.
In case he has any questions.
Right.
Or in case she needs to relay any information, like paper or plastic.
How much you owe?
Yeah, stuff like that. So she needs an assistant.
Yet they'll pay her the same wage, yet the company is spending more on having her employed.
She'd get paid less. But that would be against... Wow. That would be against all kinds of new U.S. laws.
So other countries, just right off the bat, I'm just reading them off real fast. These countries are also being assaulted by Sharia law and are fighting it. The United Kingdom, Canada, Afghanistan, Algeria, Australia, France, Ethiopia, Germany, Ghana, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Libya, Lebanon. Yeah, I mean, you know that's all gone down. Morocco, the Netherlands, Pakistan, Nigeria. Everybody in the Middle East is being assaulted by this. Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Spain, Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Thailand, Uganda, United Arab Emirates, and the latest to fall, Yemen. And for those of you that don't think, and I talked about this last week, I predicted this before it came out. You heard it first on Smith Radio. Iran and the Obama administration are working together to secure the Middle East for Iran.
How?
Iran is systematically taking over. See, we had this problem. Well, at least I did. Why would Egypt and other countries be fighting ISIS and Iran? And why is Iran fighting other Muslims and back and forth, and Muslims are fighting Muslims? And I didn't get it. And all these different countries and all these different names, I didn't get it. Here's what you need to get. Iran wants to control all Muslims in all countries in all the Middle East and control all the oil and all the money. They are taking over Iraq. They're taking over Yemen. They're also taking over Syria. They're taking over all these countries so they can create one big giant nation, kind of like what Russia did, Mother Russia did back in the day. Their goal is to bring on the 12th imam, the 12th prophet in their religion. If the 12th prophet shows up, that is the end of days for the Muslims. And that's what they want, because paradise will come. So, the faster that they can make they feel that they can create an environment to make the 12th.
Are they doing the caliphate?
Right. And if they can instill all these predictions, if they can make the predictions happen now, they believe that they can bring on this 12th guy that will bring paradise to them. So, by hook or by crook, hell or by high water, doesn't matter who perishes. It doesn't matter if they're Muslims who are perishing. It's all for the greater good of bringing on the end of days. And that's what Iran is doing right now. However, this is what you're not going to hear across the world. You're not going to hear that there's an Arab League made up of 22 different independent Arab states, including Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia, by the way, is so pissed that this is all going down. Egyptian press and the Arab League secretary and Egyptian foreign minister, yeah, I'm skipping over all their names because I can't pronounce, I'll butcher them, presided over a meeting of Arabian heads of state. This whole meeting was to come together and say, we will band together as 22 nations, and we will put together a force of 40,000 troops, warplanes, Navy ships, and weapons that can be deployed at any moment, at any given time, and even used against ISIS and terrorists to defend ourselves from Iran.
Wow. Okay.
However, Obama.
Oh, no.
And
he just undermined all that, didn't he?
John Kerry Yang have negotiated with Iran to keep and maybe even
help them
to develop nuclear weapons.
Oh.
On the board of advisors during this during the negotiations, John Kerry's daughter's husband is an Iranian sympathizer. He's got ties to an organization that lobbies for the benefits of Iran.
Okay.
That guy who lobbies for benefits for Iran was on the advisory board during the negotiations.
Okay. And so it went well for Iran.
Oh my goodness. It went so well for Iran. Israel is literally just rolling. Benjamin Netanyahu is losing it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned last Sunday against the emerging nuclear deal with Iran, as Iranian and Western officials in Switzerland were rushing to reach a framework agreement by the end of the month. Well, they didn't reach an agreement by the end of the month. They continued to talk and whatever. They're letting Iran have whatever they want.
Right, and the story I heard is that it's under the guise that we're just going to use this for peaceful purposes. The material and all the components of nuclear power, if you will.
Right.
Is what they're going to call it.
Well, and I tried to break it down shotgun style last week. Very simplified. Imagine 10 machines making nuclear stuff that can be used for a bomb.
Enriched uranium and stuff.
They have 10 machines currently running to make stuff for a bomb. America said, well, Obama said, you can only have 4. And Iran said, no, we want 6, 7, or 8. And then Obama said, okay, 6 is fine. Come to find out, 6 would be the magic number to make the right amount to make a nuclear warhead.
Oh, boy. And did he just not know, or did he just think, well, it'll be all right?
Well, in the media world, they'll spin it and make it look like there was a negotiation.
Okay.
Of sorts. But nobody's going to say the negotiation was for Iran to have the bomb.
Which it ends up being that way.
Right.
Because they got their 6.
Right.
And you know, I think it may have been Rush said, look, this is how it's going to go. Actually, it may have been Hannity. It was either Hannity or Rush. Said, look, this is how it goes down. Iran uses their nuclear capability for peaceful purposes, just like they promised for America, up to a certain point. And then as soon as it becomes that, we need to turn this into a bomb, then all the other countries in the Middle East are going to need the bomb in order to protect themselves from Iran.
Oh yeah,
and all of a sudden it'll be a whole bunch of places will be nuclear in order to. It'll be like a big old arms race. It'll be like a Cold War for the Middle East.
Right.
And we're just going to be. We won't be in there and involved, but I mean, it's going to affect foreign policy forever.
Oh, for eternity.
We'll be talking about that for years.
Not only that, yeah, we got some technical difficulties here.
Yeah,
folks.
I'm like, you got a lot of sound going on there.
Check this out. Breaking news this week. This was just a couple of days ago. Breitbart broke a beaming. This quoting from Breitbart. A beaming Iranian foreign minister emerged from the meeting rooms in Switzerland to announce that all of the theocracy's major demands have been met. According to the new provisions released on the nuclear deal, Iran will get to both keep active its centrifuges and receive sanction relief.
So he's excited.
So they may get all. They may be able to keep all 10.
Well, basically, when you're in a negotiation, either both parties should be happy or both parties should be upset. And in this case, Iran is
both
happy.
parties are happy.
Well, because Obama wanted Iran to get everything, and
Iran wanted to get everything, so they got everything.
Yeah, that's what they wanted, and that's what they got.
Whew!
Good luck for the future of the entire Middle
East, yeah.
The whole region.
Judson Phillips, Sunday. This was last Sunday. He's a writer for the Washington Times, and he wrote, Barack Obama is more than just
What are you reading? Which one? Judson Phillips. There you go.
Right. Okay.
I think it's supposed to say sympathetic, but it says sympatric. Sympatric.
Yeah. Barack Obama is more than sympathetic to Iran. He's the Iranian candidate. Mr. Obama is more concerned about Iran than he is about America. That was in the Washington Times.
Holy, that is inflammatory. He's an Iranian candidate? He may actually be Iran's president one day. Well, wouldn't that be the weirdest thing ever? A former U.S. president, the president of another nation?
He did.
Is that plausible?
Well, 2 weeks ago, he appeared on Iranian TV to address the Iranian people and talking to them. We did this in the last show where he was talking to the Iranian people about the nuclear talks and trying to convince the people of Iran, the American president attempting to convince the people of Iran to side with his deal in the nuclear negotiations.
Well, why wouldn't they?
They will now.
Wow, that would be really odd if he ends up being a president of another country. I mean, why couldn't he? He's already a foreign. He's not
even American.
Right, he's not. Whatever.
Hey, I got called out today.
On
Facebook.
Well, let's hear it.
A guy cracked on me, and I didn't really do the research on it. I just reposted it.
Okay.
And he cracked on me. He's like, "That's not even close to being true."
Oh, you
you
put fake news up.
It's not even true. Trolling, not even. He said it said trolling 0/10, which means I think he was saying I got 0 points out of 10 for trolling.
So you didn't even troll very well.
But I replied back, "Bro, this is classic trolling."
If it got him,
LOL. It's classic trolling.
So what was?
And it's excellent material for trolling.
So what was the material?
Okay, it was a picture of Russian leaders, like silhouetted next to each other, and these were the words in the picture. Across the picture, it said, "Ever wonder why terrorists aren't kidnapping Russians? In 1986, Muslim kidnapped 4 Russian diplomats in Beirut. Kidnappers demanded Moscow support for pro-Syrian fighters in Lebanon. As expected, Moscow ignored these demands. The kidnappers, the Muslims, in order to show that they were not kidding around, killed one of the hostages. Moscow replied. The KGB kidnapped a family member of Hezbollah leader. He was castrated and killed, and the leader himself sent a package containing the body parts and a note saying that this is his other, saying that his other families would receive the same fate. The 3 remaining diplomats were immediately released.
That's mafia style right there.
To think for 1 second the KGB would never do that, you are delirious.
They're the ones. Wasn't there a hostage situation with it was a terrorist situation. It was a bunch of Muslim terrorists in Russia. They took over like a school or something.
A museum or a school or a high school.
And there's like 200 hostages in there. So they were like, "Oh, we take care of you.
We take care of you now."
They killed everybody, including the hostages.
Yes!
They said, "Well,
you're going to lose them anyways."
Yeah, it's like when you're in a house and you have a bug problem and you try to spray, and then you're like, you know what?
This ain't working.
And you use what we call the bomb. Do they even call it anymore?
The bomb.
Do they call it?
I used the bomb.
I use a bomb. Do they call it a bomb anymore? I don't even know.
Yeah, you can.
It's a fumigator,
yeah,
and you put it in every room in the house.
And you have to leave the house for 3 days.
Like a long time.
And then when you come back, they say you must wash all your dishes.
Yeah,
and wipe down your countertops and clean the house top
Keep
to
the
bottom.
windows open for a couple of days.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course you're going to have so many dead bugs all over the place.
Dude, that was recently when Russia did that. That wasn't that long ago.
It was
5 years ago, at least.
At least 5. It was probably closer to 10 years ago.
So this guy cracked on me and told me I failed as a troll.
Is it fake?
Hell if I know, but I like it.
Okay, all right. Well, how would he know if it was fake?
My reply to it was, fight a war at all cost
to win.
To win!
Yeah.
And that was all capital letters. Fight a war at all cost to win. If you're fighting a war to appease somebody or to sway them to like you...
Oh, that's just not going to work.
Vietnam, anyone? You will fail. By the way, in Air Force basic training, they taught us the Air Force has never lost a war.
Okay.
They may claim Vietnam was a loss, but the Air Force didn't lose Vietnam.
You know who lost it?
But what the Air Force?
It was the journalism. It was Walter Cronkite.
It was Cronkite.
He announced that the war was unwinnable. He's the one that lost the damn thing. He could take all the damn blame for it.
So, have you ever heard of Carly Fiona?
Doesn't sound that familiar.
She is the former CEO of Hewlett-Packard. And the first woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. She was CEO of HP for 6 years. She was fired by the board of directors. But upon her being fired, she received a $20 million settlement package.
Severance package.
Yeah, severance. So she got $20 million to leave.
Okay.
Kind of.
I'm sure there were a lot of strings attached to that.
Yeah. So anyway,
don't tell anybody about that cigar. Wait, what?
What? I don't know Bill Clinton.
Okay. So anyway,
she was on Chris Wallace's show, Fox News, on Sunday, being interviewed by Chris Wallace. She hasn't officially announced, but she is going to run for president of the United States of America under the Republican Party ticket.
Really? Fiorina?
Yeah, Carly Fiorina. Now, I'm going to play her take. This is kind of out of context, but this is who she is. I want to give you an idea of who she is and where she's coming from. This is what I got from her, and this is where she's coming from when it comes to how she would govern, if you will, when it comes to America.
Washington, D.C. has become a vast, unaccountable bureaucracy. It's been growing for 40 years. We have no idea how our money is spent. I think there are two things that would help tremendously. One, zero-based budgeting. So we actually know where the money is spent, and we're talking about the whole budget, not just the rate of increase. And two, pay for performance in our civil service. We have, how many Inspector General reports do we need to read that say, you know, you can watch porn all day long and get paid exactly the same way as somebody who's trying to do their job?
What?
There you go.
Well, I mean, interesting. I mean, I don't disagree with that.
See, well, the thing about the budget that a lot of people don't know, remember the bill, the $1 trillion bill that was passed when Obama first got in for the stimulus package.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people don't know that the stimulus package that was passed actually made it into the budget.
Okay.
Which means that it will be funded every single year.
Ooh. I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's part of the bill now. It's part of the spending bill now.
That's not good. So what? $1 trillion every year now?
Well,
just
look
dumps into everything.
Well, do you see what we're at right now?
Yeah.
$20 trillion deficit. Our deficit is larger than dozens of countries combined. It's the net worth of countries. Our deficit is larger than the net worth. You know, that
we
actually
could sell some. We
that
could have a
actually
yard
speaks
sale.
volumes.
We could have a yard sale.
Think about that. The amount of money that we are in debt, yet we are still the top of the top, the biggest of the big. Yet
You're making the case for it being okay.
Almost. So she's saying that when you pass a stimulus bill, the next year, that can't be.
It shouldn't be.
It can't be logically part of the next bill. That's where she's talking about zero balanced budget, because every single department, every year, and you've probably heard this before, if they get $100 million to spend for their budget and they don't spend it all, the next year they won't get it again. Yeah. So they make sure they spend it to not only get it, but then get a percentage increase because of inflation.
Well, they gotta overspend it.
Correctly.
That way they can make it a case that they'll need more money.
Amen.
That's so convoluted.
And it's human. I don't blame them. It's human nature to play the game.
Yeah, they play the game, and the whole thing is just this big, giant mess that keeps everybody occupied and confused so that they can take power. And we all know where it's going to end up. It's going to end up with the entire country collapsing upon itself, and we're going to lose everything.
Right.
What they're hoping, and they know this is going to happen, their whole thing, their goal in life, is to keep it going until they're dead.
Right.
In their lifetime. As long as they're... To hell with the grandkids and all that. As long as I can keep this house of cards from toppling over before I die, then I lived a good life.
Right. And y'all going to hate me for this, but you damn baby boomers have been doing this. It's not the greatest generation that ever lived. It's their children. It's the baby boomers who do double dipping, triple dipping, quadruple dipping.
Well, the greatest generation has something to blame. You can blame these guys a little bit.
Okay.
Well, this guy, this Japanese retired fighter, he's opposing the conservative candidate for Japanese prime minister because he's a former fighter,
right,
pilot from World War II.
Kamikaze.
He may have been part of kamikazes. He obviously didn't go through with the mission.
Right.
That'd be hard to survive.
His landing gear did not fall off when he took off the ground. They started doing that at the end of World War II. They literally rigged the landing gear to drop as soon as the kamikaze pilots took off. Full fuel tanks, extra bombs. They took off. The landing gear dropped. So there was only one way to end this. You were going to die.
So World War II was really rough on the Greatest Generation. They saved the world.
Right.
They saved They saved humanity from an unspeakable evil.
Right.
Okay. And
communism, dictatorship.
And it's a shame. Here's the thing. They look at it as this war was terrible, and it was the worst thing that anybody could ever go through, the worst thing that I've ever had to do in my life. I've seen unspeakable horrors during this war. But they didn't just go to war to have fun.
No.
They didn't do it because they were like, you know what? I'm bored. Let's go to war.
I got nothing to do.
Hey, let's go to war. No, they saved the world from an unspeakable evil, and they did it because they were the Greatest Generation. But here's where they blew it. And this is why there's a little black stain on the Greatest Generation.
Skid mark?
There's a skid mark on the Greatest Generation. Here he is right here. And okay, this guy obviously wasn't... He was part of the evil that we were fighting. But he speaks very similar to the way a lot of World War II vets were speaking back then, which was, I want to tell you my experiences in war so that the younger generations don't have to go through the same horrors that I did.
Okay.
Well, he went through he was part of the evil, but this is similar speak that would come from our Greatest Generation. The thing is they went through that war to save us from the evils.
Right.
It was a necessary evil to save us from the evils. Right?
Right.
So when you tell the next generation, we're going to do everything to coddle you and make sure you don't ever have to see or experience anything that you end up with, the baby boomers.
Let me tell you, and this is no more apparent than it is out in L.A., the first generations that come across the border from South America that make the big money in America. Okay, so you're raised with dirt floors in a hut in Mexico.
It's pretty much just a shelter.
Barely. Living off the land, eating bugs, snakes, scorpions, and snails just to survive. You get to America, you get a job making $20 an hour. It's called welfare.
Well, okay. Well,
whatever you're doing.
You make it $50,000. Is it $50,000? $6,000 per person per year.
Right.
So it could be
severance package.
40 whatever.
Severance package. So you're making a living in America, and you are now exposed to capitalism and the freedom that capitalism provides you to get whatever you want. Your first-generation Mexicans in L.A., the number one demographic for absolute obesity. Absolutely. No, it's articles posted everywhere. You can find this all over the net. I am not making this up.
No, I saw the article that said the most obese, was it country or would it?
No, the most obese demographic in America
is Mexican.
Is the Hispanic culture, and primarily the first generation Hispanic culture.
Interesting.
Because now it is they've now.
Well, they were starving.
Right, and when you come to America, now you won the lottery.
Right, and I will tell you, as a former wrestler who had to lose weight, cut weight, watch your weight, I would say it has caused a little bit of an eating disorder with me, where now that I don't have to do this anymore, and we're talking decades later.
Oh, you're saying eating disorder in the wrong way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. when you have lived,
because a lot of people don't classify eating disorder as eating seafood. eating.
Yeah, you eat
whatever you see.
I'm on a seafood diet. I'm on a
Seafood
seafood
diet,
right?
That can be a disorder,
right?
course.
Well, I mean, when you've starved at some point, I would say for a significant period of time, that would be maybe months on end, at least. In the case of Mexicans, maybe years on end. When you suddenly have food in abundance, you just don't want to let any of it go uneaten.
Well, if you ever take our great-grandparents or grandparents, most of them that are passed away now, but the ones who lived through the Great Depression.
Yeah, they had a different attitude. Even all the way up until they died.
Oh, they would never let it. You would talk about hoarders.
They wouldn't. Well, food in general.
Oh.
They would not. They would never waste.
Take a scrap for granted whatsoever.
No.
Side note: the guy who invented the K-cup for Keurig coffee.
Oh yeah.
The little cup things. He is now in full 100% remorse.
Why?
He is distraught with the tons of waste that his K-cup is causing.
Oh, because you use that little cup that looks a little bit like an oversized creamer.
Right.
Because it's got the little plastic bottom. Right. And you jam it in the Keurig, and then you slam it down, and it makes you 1 cup of coffee. And when you're done, you throw the little plastic cup away. And that's it.
I had it in the stack of stuff, but that's all I remember. There were some outrageous numbers, facts, and figures.
Landfills are filling up.
But then the article compared his stack to other stacks of just general numbers, and it was minuscule.
Oh, his was minuscule?
Yes, it was fractions of a fraction of a percent.
So he was just imagining this. Right. It wasn't any fact. He was upset because he was imagining the waste that he was causing.
Right. So before I go too much further and lose my train of thought, Carly Fiona?
Yeah, what's up with her? Is she going to run for president?
They asked her what she thought about Hillary.
Oh, okay.
And this is what she had. The question was from Chris Wallace. Dude, Chris Wallace was pressing her hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he was acting like
one of the best debate moderators ever was Chris Wallace.
He was trying to troll her a little bit, but it was so obvious. It was sad.
You remember when he moderated one of the debates?
Yeah.
He was really good.
So he asked her, what is your basic case against Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton lacks a track record of accomplishment. She is not candid, which suggests her character is flawed. And I think now in Emailgate, we not only have a situation where she's clearly not being candid. I mean, her saying that all of those emails she erased were just her and Bill chatting is a little bit like Richard Nixon saying that those erased moments on the tape were he and Pat talking. It's ridiculous. Of course there was more there than that. But I also think there's a competence issue now. Anyone in 2015 to say you can't have 2 email accounts on a single device obviously doesn't understand technology. When she talks about we had Secret Service agents guarding our server, for heaven's sakes, we're not concerned about the server being stolen. We're concerned about the server being hacked.
Hillary said we had Secret Servicemen guarding the server.
You mean physically?
Yes!
Oh my.
Yes!
God.
And she just said, we're not concerned about somebody stealing your server. We're worried about them hacking it.
Well, they were actually standing guard inside the wires.
Tron?
Yeah, it was like Tron. It was exactly like Tron. They had the frisbees.
Oh, dude,
it's some motorcycles in there. They were going off. They were glowing blue.
And it was the actor.
Dennis?
No, it doesn't matter. I was okay. I'll skip that
one.
Not
Dennis Quaid. His brother. Is it the Quaid brother?
No, Dennis Leary.
No. What are you talking about? That's it.
So, second question. What do you make of the 30,000 emails wiped clean And what does the Republican-led investigation into Benghazi do now?
Well, I think it was probably part of the plan all along that the Clintons had. Look, I think it was very deliberate that they had a private server. I think it was very deliberate that she used a personal email account. I think this clearly was a deliberate effort to shield her communications. I don't quite know what the investigators can do at this point, but I know this. We need a nominee who will bring this up in the general election. The reason Benghazi was not enough of an issue in the 2012 election is because, unfortunately, our nominee pulled his punches when he had an opportunity to remind the American people of the Benghazi tragedy and scandal.
So what are you saying? You won't pull your punches?
Oh, I will not pull my punches. Not now and not in a general election.
Amen, sister.
I cannot believe the how much of a blown lead. I've never seen nothing like it. The way Romney ended up losing the election over those second and third debates. He had Obama so on the ropes.
Chris Wallace also said this.
Rectal feeding.
Yes.
That was Chris Wallace.
That was Chris Wallace.
Jeff Bridges was the guy in front.
Yes, I know.
He was the one guarding her servers.
He was guarding servers. Mitt Romney, and I'll tell you, after the first debate, the administration, the GOP, took him to the woodshed.
And said, you can't talk to him like that.
Don't you ever speak to a black man.
Do you know what that's going to make people think about us? That's what they were saying to him.
Women are going to hate us.
Yeah.
Black men already hate us.
And now the white guilt crowd is going to hate
us. We're going to lose the independents because they hate us.
Because they're on the fence, and they're like, oh, look at him being mean to the black man. Now, that's not true. That's what the GOP thinks is happening.
Because the GOP establishment is liberal racist to begin with. They shouldn't even. I was reading an article. This is from
they're cowards, is what they are. They're total cowards.
Fortune magazine. I was at the ophthalmologist, the eye doctor.
Yeah. Okay, Porky.
I was at the eye doctor with the kids today. I picked up Fortune magazine and started reading it. I was thumbing through it. And I came to an article that said the cost of being president.
Okay.
The elephant in the room. And there was a picture there, and I showed my wife the picture. I said, you probably won't get this, but read this. It says the elephant in the room, projections to be president. Does this picture say anything to you? And it had 9 or 10 faces on a stick of politicians. Mm-hmm. She said, I don't know. They kind of look, some of them look Republican. I said, they're all Republican. And she said, well, this one isn't. She figured Chris Christie.
Oh.
I said, no, I know he's not, but.
He's not conservative.
Right. So the entire article was about how much it costs to be president. The elephant in the room. The whole article was about the cost of Republicans running.
You mean how much it costs to run? Like just the price?
All the primaries, each primary, and they had it leveled out, per primary, how much you needed to spend to win it and succeed to the next primary. Mm-hmm. And they had 5 different primaries, 5 different, the Iowa caucus, all the way through to the presidency. 4, and they had an icon, an elephant icon. It wasn't an elephant and a donkey. It was an elephant. And it was the elephant in the room cost to be president. Okay. And what the Republicans are spending to buy the presidency.
So, are they saying that this is not a phenomenon in the Democrat Party? Or is that just the suggestion they want you to believe?
It's the suggestion that Republicans spend crazy money.
Nobody spends. And here's the thing. You and I think, both agree on this. Money is just speech.
Right.
And so where does this money come from? Well, it gets donated by people who like your cause.
Right.
And those people work to earn that money.
And if you're Hillary Clinton and you're taking money from the Saudi Arabia, you are clearly...
That should be illegal.
In violation. You're not allowed to take money from Chi-Coms or Saudi Arabia.
Taking money from a foreign country for your campaign to become president
in America
is the same thing as allowing foreigners to vote.
Right.
It's exactly the same thing.
And so Democrats get highly inflamed, anally inflamed, if you will, when conservatives are allowed to have their corporation that is successful
in America.
It's a successful corporation supported by the public because of the goods and services it produces for the public to spend money on campaigns. A corporation, whether you believe me or not, I don't care. It's not the purpose of whether you believe me or not. Do your own due diligence, do your own research. A corporation, by legal statutes of the government of the United States of America, a corporation is classified as an entity. It has its own tax ID, and it is its own legal entity. It's not a human being, but is a legal entity, and in itself can produce a vote.
Well, because it's not a person, does it get freedom of speech?
By the people who can speak. I'm speaking on behalf of the company because I'm the CEO elected of the company. If I speak ill about the company, then the board of directors or the shareholders will evict me.
Okay. I agree with all this stuff. I just don't know as much about it as you do, but yeah, I mean, that's a big controversy between the right and the left as to whether or not a company is considered a person or not.
Right, and the reason why the left hates it is because it's so powerful. It is so powerful because literally it is, at its basic roots, the people speaking. Chick-fil-A. People speaking with their money. Americans will speak with their money. Yep, okay. Lastly, Chris Wallace, this is where he trolled her. He said, some say you'd be good as a running mate because, if you were vice president, not president, we don't think you'll win that.
At least he didn't say she'd be good as an executive secretary.
Right, that's true. But if you're good as a running mate, that would be good.
Or a cook.
Because as a
this could be a problem.
Right. Because as a vice president, you could attack Hillary because you're a woman, she's a woman. You could neutralize Hillary, the problem, and you could also neutralize the problem the GOP has with women. What say you about being, I know you say you want to run for president, but what do you say about being, a VP? How about that?
Well, I come from a world outside of politics where track record and accomplishments count. Words don't. If I run for president, it's because I can win the job, and it's because I can do the job.
There you go. Amen, sister.
That pretty much sums it up right
there. He said to her, the follow-up question he said to her was, so would you do it? Would you be a VP? And she said to him, you ask all your other guests that, and if they answer it, then I'll come back and answer. I mean, it was trolling.
Why was he?
It was irritating.
So was he asking her if she would run as president, or would she accept a VP nomination?
Right. Asking her to accept the VP.
Does it sound like she's interested in actually running as a president?
Yes, she said she would. Yes.
But he's trolling her for VP.
Right.
He's trying to. He's part of the establishment. Isn't he Republican?
Yeah.
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace seems to be fairly conservative.
Yeah. Okay. So he's part of the establishment trying to jam her in her place.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. That's. He's like, hey, hey, you are not supposed to be running.
Right.
But can you just take this VP thing? Come on, take the VP thing.
Oh,
that's what it was. It was a hardcore suggestion.
And if you want to wrap this up, we've got New York AP, in MSNBC News Group, Andy Lack faces one of the same puzzles he tried to solve decades and a half ago: how to make MSNBC work. While he was gone, mirrored.
Try telling the truth, you
ratings
suckers.
Lack's mandate and chairman would be figuring out if MSNBC needs a complete overhaul or sharpening of its mission.
Well, yeah, you got to fire all the liars.
Right. The current picture is seriously ugly. Through early March, Chris Hayes' viewership at 8 p.m. on weekdays was down 23% from last year. Rachel Mad Cow, was off 24%, and Lawrence O'Donnell down 26%.
Lawrence O'Donnell is evil.
I didn't even know that it was still on.
Oh.
Among the 25 to 50-year-old demographics, that is the basis for advertising sales, the primetime lineup lost nearly half its daytime, its audience. Daytime isn't much better.
Well, I can tell you this about MSNBC, because I used to watch it a lot, because I wanted to find out what the enemy was thinking.
Did you know you are a rare sick one?
I'm sick.
I
like to be trolled.
Your father and I still, I cannot grasp. It is only because of this show, and I do it for you folks because I love you, that I will endure the wretched pain of listening to people like Rachel Mad Cow.
I've gotten good at it, but she here's the thing. Yeah, they lie, but there's a lot of people that watch it that don't know that they're being lied to. So the problem isn't just that they're lying. They're so relentlessly negative all the time. They hate life, they hate everything. And you could feel it when you're watching them. You could hear it.
Yeah.
And that's not going to get good ratings.
No, not well. It's not going to get good ratings, but the problem is, in this article, they went on to say that that when you have liberal viewers, they tend to only come out when you have a cause to fight.
Well, then that's why they're inventing all these causes.
Right.
They just invent them. We got a cause to fight.
Speaking of, I know we're trying to wrap the show up, but speaking about that, guess who emerged, reappeared? It's like Weekend at Bernie's, but lasted for years, and now all of a sudden, Bernie wasn't dead the whole time. Guess who showed up this week?
I have no idea.
Castro!
Oh, yeah, he was definitely dead, right?
Fidel Castro showed up in public.
Well, so did Bernie.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Bernie did show up in public. Strangely, always with those two young guys.
Yes!
Who was it? McCarthy? What was his name?
Jonathan McCarthy?
Whoever it was. The guy in Weekend at Bernie's.
So sad, man. He never got another role after that show.
He had a bunch of them back in the 80s.
Short Circuit?
No. He was in, was it St. Elmo's Fire or something? He was in a couple of those John Hughes.
That wasn't no good.
He was in a couple of... he was in... Pretty in Pink or something, wasn't he? 16 Candles.
Oh, he was.
16 Candles. That was one of those Molly Ringworm movies.
Shit. You know Ringworm has nothing to do with worms.
Right. It's a fungus.
Why do they call it ringworm?
Because
freaky.
It turns into a ring on your skin.
It does. I've seen it. It's creepy.
Because it grows outwards. But anyway.
Oh. So... Oh, that's the bell! Oh, my goodness, folks. Wow. We have come to the end of another show. This is one of those things where...
Agent Hurley, I want you to give this scumbag a cavity search. I'm talking Roto-Rooter. Don't stop till you reach the back of his teeth.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
You don't have the Flintstones? Ah.
I'm feeling gay right now.
Oh, man.
Gay as all get out. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
With unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.